On today's Real Estate of Mind, we're talking about CPR, and no, it's not, as Steve mentioned, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Although, James, I have seen some properties on the market that could use some reviving.
That's very true. Many of those out there, yes, indeed.
Now, CPR, James Lewis with us, our expert, a realtor from Coldwell Banker. CPR stands for?
Condominium Property Regime.
Okay.
And a lot of people, when they think of condominiums, they think of high-rise condominiums, but there's actually single-family condominiums. So if somebody has a property with maybe 2 houses on it or a larger piece of property, and they want to actually sell a piece of that property with another house on it, they can actually create a condominium, a 2-unit residential condominium.
So if I'm out shopping for property, I might see one that has the potential of being CPR, or it might have CPR there in the advertisement or something like that.
Well, it's very true. It depends on a lot of things, but one of those issues is the zoning. If it's, let's say, zoned R5 and the property requires 5,000 square feet of land per single-family dwelling, detached dwelling, and if you have over, like, say, 10,000 square feet, you could potentially have 2 detached single-family dwellings, and you could not subdivide those, but create 2 CPR units and sell them off individually.
When you think of condominiums, you usually think of high-rises and you think of associations and maintenance fees, but not necessarily the case when you got this single-family CPR going on.
That's true. If it's a smaller CPR unit, like 2 units, there's probably not going to be a maintenance fee or even an association. There is issues with regards to financing and other issues you should be aware of, so you should talk to a professional in that industry to find out what those issues are.
Now, you have an example of one that a property that you have listed up in Wilhelmina Rise, which is a potential CPR property, right?
That's very true. I have this listing of Pukalani Place. It's Wilhelmina Rise, and that property is just under 11,000 square feet, and that one is zoned R5. So you could potentially build a second, again, detached home on the lower piece of the property, kind of minimize that and sell it off and keep the property up above if you wish.
There is obviously a beautiful home. That's an older home that's there on the property that would be part of that purchase, right?
The home was built in the 30s, and the family now that owns it bought it in the 50s. So it's only had 2 owners on that piece of property.
Well taken care of.
And it's great. It faces east, gets cool breezes. You can see the ocean, a little bit of Diamond Head. Very nice property.
So this is a good example of something you might be looking for if you're out there looking for a property, one that's big enough to do a CPR or create a condominium property regime, sell off part of that, and maybe help pay for your purchase, right?
There you go.
All right.
But be sure to talk to a professional in that field. I talked to an attorney, real estate attorney recently, and he kind of explained to me that it takes about maybe 3 up to 5 months to do a CPR. It costs approximately $15,000. You need a CPR attorney and a surveyor, and again, you should talk to a real estate professional and make sure this is right for you.
Real estate professional like James Lewis, a realtor with Coldwell Banker. James, thanks so much.
For 25 years, full time.
Okay, it's good to have you with us. Let's send it over to Howard Dykes. You're full time.